Hi, this is Mike. I'm reading Robert Alter's translation of Exodus. This is chapter 34. And Yahweh said to Moses, "Carve you 2 stone tablets, like the first ones. And I shall write on the tablets the words which were on the first tablets that you smashed. And be ready by morning, and you shall go up in the morning to Mount Sinai, and take your stance for me there on the mountain top. And no man shall go up with you, and also no man shall be seen in all the mountain. Neither shall the sheep nor the cattle graze opposite that mountain." And he carved 2 stone tablets like the first ones. And Moses rose early in the morning and went up to Mount Sinai as Yahweh had charged him. And he took in his hand the 2 stone tablets. And Yahweh came down in the cloud and stationed himself with him there. And he invoked the name of Yahweh. And Yahweh passed before him, and he called out, "Yahweh, Yahweh, a compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger and abounding in kindness and good faith, keeping kindness for the 1,000th generation, bearing crime, trespass, and offense. Yet he does not wholly acquit, reckoning the crime of fathers with sons and sons of sons to the 3rd generation and the 4th." And Moses hastened and prostrated himself on the ground and bowed down. And he said, "If, pray, I have found favor in your eyes, my master, may my master, pray, go in our midst. For it is a stiff-necked people, and you shall forgive our crime and our offense, and claim us as yours." And he said, "Look, I am about to seal a covenant. Before all your people I will do wonders that have not been created in all the earth and in all the nations, and all the people in whose midst you are shall see Yahweh's doing, for fearsome is that which I do with you. Watch you, that which I charge you today. Look, I am about to drive out before you the Amorite and the Canaanite, and the Hittite and the Perizzite, and the Hivite and the Jebusite. Watch yourself, lest you seal a covenant with the inhabitant of the land against which you come, lest he become a snare in your midst. For their altars you shall shatter, and their pillars you shall smash, and their cultic poles you shall cut down. For you shall not bow to another god. For Yahweh, his name is jealous, a jealous God he is. Lest you seal a covenant with the inhabitant of the land, and they whore after their gods and sacrifice to their gods, and he call you, and you eat of his sacrifice, and you take from his daughters for your sons, and his daughters whore after their gods, and make your sons whore after their gods. No molten gods shall you make for yourselves. The festival of flatbread you shall keep. 7 days you shall eat flatbread, as I charged you at the fixed time of the month of the new grain. For in the month of the new grain you came out of Egypt. Every womb breach is mine, and all your livestock in which you have a male womb breach of ox or sheep. And a womb breach of donkey you shall redeem with a sheep. And if you do not redeem it, you shall break its neck. Every firstborn of your sons you shall redeem, and they shall not appear in my presence empty-handed. 6 days you shall work, and on the 7th day you shall cease. In plow time and in harvest you shall cease. And a festival of weeks you shall make for yourself, first fruits of the harvest of wheat, and a festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times in the year all your males shall appear in the presence of the Master, Yahweh, God of Israel. For I will dispossess nations before you, and I will widen your territory, and no man will covet your land when you go up to appear in the presence of Yahweh 3 times in the year. You shall not slaughter with leavened stuff the blood of my sacrifice, nor shall the sacrifice of the festival of Passover be left till morning. The best of the first fruit of your soil you shall bring to the house of Yahweh your God. You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. And Yahweh said to Moses, "Write you these words, For according to these words, I have sealed a covenant with you and with Israel. And he was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. Bread he did not eat, nor water did he drink. And he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 words. And it happened when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the covenant in Moses' hands when he came down from the mountain, that Moses did not know that the skin of his face had glowed when he spoke with him. And Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, and look, the skin of his face glowed, and they were afraid to come near him. And Moses called to them, and Aaron and all the chiefs in the community came back to him, and Moses spoke to them. And afterward all the Israelites drew near, and he charged them with what Yahweh had spoken with him on Mount Sinai. And Moses finished speaking with them, and he put a veil on his face. And when Moses came before Yahweh to speak with him, he would remove the veil until he came out, and he would come out and speak to the Israelites that which he had been charged. And the Israelites would see Moses' face, that the skin of Moses' face glowed, and Moses would put the veil back on his face until he came to speak with him.